welcome to MT Guitar. Thanks for joining us today. We're doing an exciting lesson on Do Your Mak'er, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing that differently than Led Zeppelin would. I believe in the UK they would say something like Jamaica, which is actually what they intended it to sound like. So this is off of House is the Holy, and it's just such an incredible guitar part. No surprise there. Jimmy Page was a master of writing guitar parts. They're well worth studying. It's not so easy to pull off guitar parts in a trio because you generally have to combine rhythm and lead. And Jimmy Page was up to the task. He studied Jimi Hendrix extensively and other great trio players. So we're going to cover all the sections, of course, and we have some nice fills in here as well as these rhythm parts. Nice arpeggios, really good right hand workout as well as left hand. And then we're also going to look at the solo. And the solo is very tasteful, nothing too crazy. The bending is probably the hardest part, but the speed of it is not too fast. Very tasteful and good note choice here. A lot of basically C major pentatonic. So, yeah, we'll look at all this. It should be fairly doable for intermediate. Go ahead and check out the Patreon if you'd like to download the tab and follow along. I've got it all written out there for you. And remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified for the next video. Other than that, let's jump on in. All right, so we're in standard tuning. The recording sounds a little bit flat, and that has to do with the tape speed. It's called vary speed, and you'll find that with Beatles recordings. Sometimes they turn up the tape a little faster, which raises the pitch, or a little slower, which in this case lowered the pitch. Doesn't happen as often anymore, although in my originals I tend to use that effect digitally, but it still does the job. So we're gonna work on this intro and verse, which are the same thing. Just a quick note on the theory: this is a 1-6-4-5 progression, which is a progression that has its roots all the way back in the early 20th century, probably even earlier. Very, very popular jazz progression and Great American Songbook. Right, so kind of funny there. It still happens all the time in pop today. So we're going to want a palm mute here, and we're going to have a C bar chord, but we only need the first four strings. 10, 9, 8, 8. Okay? You're going to want a palm mute, and you're going to go 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd. Okay? And then you're going to want to do these sixth intervals. 10th fret and 10th fret, 1st and 3rd strings. And actually you want to strum down on them all the way to 12th fret. Really cool riff, right? But nice and slow would be, okay? You're going to want that second string muted as you slide up there. And those are minor sixth intervals right there. Really important for any lead guitarist to know those. Now we're going to do A minor, and it's slightly different. So it's first four strings of an A minor bar chord, so that would be 7, 5, 5, 5. We're going to go 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, just one string, 7 to 8. The reason we're not doing two strings here is because it would be awkward, because you would need to separate the frets. When it's a minor third, it's harder to slide it up because you would have to go one fret further on the third string. So Jimmy solves that by just going 7 to 8. Okay, F and G are the same as C. We just do the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd on the four strings of an F bar chord, and then slide up 3rd to 5th frets on 1st and 3rd strings. G is same as that, just 2 frets up. Easier said than done, but why don't we run that whole thing nice and slow, quite slow here, so we can get it nice and smooth. 3 E and a 4 E and a. One more time. Notice how there's no palm muting on the sliding. All this, there's no palm muting, okay? Now that happens 3 times, that whole progression. And at the third time, we do an A minor, like a down sweep, just sort of rake it all down there for a whole note, for 4 beats, right? Now we have a little fill here. 5th fret, 5th and 4th strings, hammer on to 7th fret, 5th string. And then you're going to basically bar the 5th fret, so you want to hammer and then down up on the 2nd and 3rd strings. And then again, hit it again, and then 5 to 7, 4th string. 2nd and 3rd strings again, 3 times. Hammer, 4th string to 7th fret, and then pull off 7 to 5, 7. It's basically just A minor pentatonic. So he never does it the same way again. So it's like you kind of want to... I mean, it is on the tab, exactly that, but it's kind of fun to learn things exactly, but then also realize, hey, if you play it differently, that's actually in the spirit of rock and roll, so go for it. Okay, then we have another verse, and then the second time it just stays on the A minor for 2 whole bars. Now we have the bridge. Now our job gets a little easier. It's just going to be basically the 4 bass notes of A minor and G. Down, up, down. Down, up, down. Okay? Now he always throws in a couple notes here and there after. So if you want that, you don't have to do that, but it would be after, down, up, down, up. Down, up, down. Down, up, down. You're going to want just like a little 7, 5, 7 hammer on right before G. You can kind of palm mute it too. Okay? Not much time though to go to G, so it adds a layer of difficulty. Then it would be G, just the first 4 bass strings, and then hit the 5th fret a couple times after that. 3 times is what I heard. So those 2 bars, 3, 4. And then we're back. Repeat. And he goes really quick. 7, 5, 7. Hammer on to 5th fret, and then back to G. Down, up, down. And then one more time. And then G. Doesn't really matter what you do, but just something A minor pentatonic, or nothing at all is fine. G, and then you slide it down at the end. Up, down, down, up, down. Now we have our little breakdown. We hit the F bass strings, and then 2nd, 3rd, 4th strings over and over. So it would be 5 times. And then G, same thing, just 2 frets up. So let's run the whole bridge nice and slow. 3, 4. Down, up, down. When I read the note. Second time. Good. Third time. Here's the F. G. Oh, baby, I love you. Oh. All right, that's harder than it looks. Doing cross picking like that is a great exercise. So work on that if it's new for you. Nice and slow is what my recommendation, right? So this song, maybe more advanced. I probably misspoke when I said intermediate in the introduction. Okay, solo. If we're ready, it's just over C, A minor, F, G, all C major pentatonic. Okay, and we're going to start with it bent on the 7th fret, 3rd string, full step, right, and then unbend it. And then 6th fret full note bend, and then back to 6, 5, 7, 7. That phrase would be. Now slide up to 9, and then 10 full note bend, 2nd string. And then unbend to 8. So 10 full note bend first string. And then unbend, 8, and then kind of repeat, 10 full note bend again, 10, 8, and then 8 second string full note bend. And then hit it again, unbend, 5, 7 third string, full note bend, and then unbend, 5, 7. And then you would end the phrase on 5. So let's do that much so far. I know it's a lot. 3, 4, 1. Right there is where we're at. Kind of repeat the phrase a little bit. 7. Start with it bent on the 7th fret, full note. Unbend, 5, 7, 5. Last phrase, slide up to 9, and then 10, full note bend. Hit it 3 times, hit it up 4th time, unbend to 8, and then 10, first string, full note bend. 4, and that's it. So let's do the whole solo nice and slow, and we'll be done. 3, 4. Four. And then it goes back to a verse. Alright, so there you go, everything you would need to work on this. But my recommendation with stuff like this, you've got so many moving parts. You've got rhythm, you've got lead, you've got palm muting, you've got solo, right? You've got power chords. So take it slow, isolate the things, and work on what you need to, and work it up to speed. It's a lot of fun. Good luck. All right, well done, everybody. A nice song to get under our belt for sure. Go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and as always, I appreciate your support. We'll see you next lesson.